In the vibrant town of Darapura, where colors flooded the streets and the scent of jasmine lingered in the air, lived a quiet man named Arjun and his spirited wife, Priya. They had married young, brought together by their families in the traditional way, and while their love was genuine, it had grown weary under the weight of misunderstandings. Arjun was a man of few words and simple gestures. He had been raised to believe that love was best expressed through actions rather than grand declarations. He woke at dawn each morning to fill their home with freshly picked flowers, ensured Priya's favorite dishes were prepared on the weekends, and quietly worked long hours to secure her comforts. But Priya, a woman of imagination and restless dreams, struggled to see Arjun's quiet devotion. She yearned for romance that was as lively as her soul. She wanted poetry recited beneath the stars, nights of dance and laughter, and a love as radiant as the festivals that painted their town in color. To her, Arjun's quiet affection felt dull and stifling, like a song that never reached its crescendo. Although she admired his devotion, she could not deny the pull of her fantasies, which whispered promises of a love she believed was waiting beyond the boundaries of their home. One monsoon night, as thunder cracked across the sky and the rain poured in silver sheets, Priya made up her mind. She would leave Darapura, leave Arjun, and seek the grand romance she felt was her destiny. She left only a brief note of apology, stating that she was going to find a life that made her feel alive. In the quiet, dark hours of early morning, she slipped out of their home, her heart racing with a blend of excitement and sorrow. She traveled by train to the city of Vrindavan, a bustling town of winding streets and ancient temples that thrived under the vibrant glow of festivals. In Vrindavan, Priya soon met Rajiv, a charming, wealthy trader with words as sweet as the sugary treats sold at the marketplace. Rajiv promised her a world that sparkled as brightly as the gold jewelry that lined his wrists. He spoke of grand adventures to faraway lands, of riches beyond imagination, and of a life that glittered like the stars. Priya was captured. Here, in Rajiv, she believed she had found everything Arjun had failed to give her: thrills, romance, and dreams too grand to contain. For a while, life with Rajiv felt like a fairy tale. He would shower her with gifts, take her to opulent parties, and whisper poetry into her ear under the moonlight. But as time passed, Priya began to notice cracks in Rajiv's polished charm. His promises of faraway adventures remained only words. The wealth he flaunted was spent on extravagance, and he grew irritable whenever she asked for genuine closeness. Slowly, she came to realize that Rajiv was like a mirage in the desert, dazzling from a distance but void of substance up close. His grand promises were woven from lies, and his love was fickle, turning cold as quickly as it had once burned brightly. Priya felt herself becoming disillusioned. She had abandoned her husband, a man who had loved her silently but steadfastly, for the empty fantasies of a man who only wore love as a mask. Nights became sleepless, filled with regret, and she found herself longing for the steady rhythm of life in Darapura, for the quiet mornings when Arjun would leave flowers by her bedside, and for the small, reliable comforts she had taken for granted. Her heart ached for the very things she had once dismissed as ordinary. One day, unable to bear the regret any longer, Priya gathered her belongings and set out on the journey back to Darapura. She traveled through the night, her heart heavy with doubt and guilt. When she arrived, she found their small home just as she had left it. To her surprise, Arjun was outside, as though he had been waiting for her every day since her departure. He didn't ask where she had been or why she had left. Instead, he embraced her, a gesture that held no resentment, only understanding. Priya wept, not from sorrow but from the relief of finding herself home. In the days that followed, Priya grew to understand that love didn't always come in grand displays and dramatic gestures. She began to notice the depth in Arjun's simple actions, the way he arranged flowers by her bed, the gentle care he took in cooking her meals, and the quiet presence that was as steady as the Ganges. She realized that his love was rooted not in extravagance but in faithfulness, patience, and a heart willing to endure hardship. As years passed, Priya and Arjun's marriage blossomed. not from wild passions but from mutual respect and an appreciation for the small, everyday acts that built their life together. Their story spread through Darapura as a tale of faith, endurance, and the lesson that sometimes the treasures we seek outside are already within our grasp, hidden in the familiar and the everyday. This story reminds us all that love is not just a feeling but a commitment to stand together, even when the heart is restless and the world seems to promise something better. If you enjoyed this story, let us know in the comments. Have you ever sought happiness elsewhere only to find it was closer than you thought? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to hear more wisdom-filled stories from Folktales of Many Tribes.